Hello, my name is Matt17W and welcome to my Let's Play of Dark Souls 3 Episode 1, where we'll be going through the tutorial area, facing our first boss and entering Firelink Shrine. This is one of my favourite games. Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne are two of my favourite games, both by From Software. If you are familiar with my channel, I've got a few Let's Play episodes of Bloodborne previously, which you can find in my channel links as well. Very good games, highly recommend. They are very difficult, you will die a lot, they are very unforgiving, but it does reward you with patience and time. They are very good. So we are going to make a new game, so when we go through the cutscene I'll let you listen to the audio for what's being said about the game. So hope you enjoy, and I'll speak to you in a second.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yom the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
So we've got our character creation here, so I'm going to go ahead and put my game profile name as the name. You can create whatever you would like. Got gender, being male, age young, class, so you've got many different classes here. We're going to go for knight on this playthrough because I want to be a thick old boy with a big slapstick on this one, but you can pick many different builds, varying from knight to sorcerer. You got the life ring, which is the HP ring, gives you a bit more HP. Divine blessing, which gives you HP back. Hidden blessing, which fully restores FP, which is mana. Black fire bomb, we're going to use them as our burial gift. That helps with the first boss. We've got the fire gem, which is something you can infuse into your weapon. You can get them in the base game at the start of the game, so we won't use that. Sovereign soul, hard souls to be used. Rusted gold coin, which improves item find. Cracked red eye orb, which lets you fade people, which we don't do very much at all because I don't like it. And there's also the white branch, which lets you transform into an item, which lets you troll people as well, which I do a little bit when people invade me because it's quite funny. Now, we're just going to build our character. What I've done, I've gone ahead and got a pre-select pre-build for this, so it just speeds the whole process up a little bit. You can make the character as you would like. So like I say, there is a lot of different options here, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that, and then just going to finalize creation in a second. So this is a fantastic game. Thoroughly enjoy playing this, so hope you enjoy watching it. If it is your first time playing, I will be going through some things that may help you out a bit. I can remember when I first played it, this first boss, it took me a good 9 attempts to beat it, and I gave up after 3 attempts and left it for a year and a half before playing it again, and thoroughly enjoy playing it. It does take a lot of time and patience, but like I say, it's thoroughly rewarding. So we are coming into the game now, so we can crack on with the let's play. So this is us, just out of the cutscene really. So yeah, and here we are. So we've got our grave there, so nice comfortable grave. So you'll find these notes dotted about the Dark Souls franchise. They can be left by people to help you out and mostly hinder you really, so I tend to just ignore them. So this is our first enemy, so roll past him, one shot kill. So yeah, pretty easy for he's just a tutorial enemy. So this area can be quite easy to miss. It's got a hard soul there, so when I say hard souls, you can put them, you can use them, you break them, and it gives you more souls. So again, another nice tutorial enemy, one shot. So this is the Ashen Estus flask. So this is a mana regain flask, like your normal Estus flask. We are a knight, so we don't need that, so I'm going to go ahead and deselect that. If you're a sorcerer or a cleric, you will want that. So again, nice easy enemy being the tutorial. Got a bit of a introduction to a gank here. So if you're new to the terminology, a gank is where you've got multiple enemies coming at you at the same time. You'll get that a lot in these games, so it is something that you have to learn how to crowd control. Like I say, these games are punishing you either to die a lot, so if you die, don't feel bad. Just load back up, try it again. Even if you have to try it 10 times, you will get there eventually. It rewards patience, so yeah, trust me, it does come. So this is an optional fight, so he is a big old boy. This is your first encounter with a large beast enemy. Now, beast enemies are a bit scarce in this game, more so in Bloodborne, where, like I said, I got some playthroughs of that. With beast enemies, it's best to attack them from behind. Their attacks are focused at the front, they can't really attack you from behind, so you'll see me try and kite round to attack from behind, as you can see here. If you attack about 5 to 6 times, the enemy will stagger. Now, when the enemy staggers, it will give a audio prompt, and it will also give a visual prompt as well here. And then you can go into a visual attack and take off a large portion of health, as you can see. And it gives you a bit of respite, so if you've taken a bit of damage, you can then heal up. So, dodging in, go for the back. So he's got a few attacks that will try and keep you from being near to him, so just dodge out of those. He gives a lot of wind up time for things, so you've got a bit of time to dodge. So got another visceral, and the beast is dead. So that is a Titanite lizard. So there are Titanite lizards around the game, small ones that they cannot attack you, but these ones, in the lore of the game, they have consumed souls, so that's why they get to that monstrous size and actually can attack you. But with the lore of the game, like I said, I'm not too familiar with the lore. I'm not going to try and go through the lore because it will just bore you. There are some brilliant YouTubers out there. Like I said, Vavity Video is very, very good. Highly recommend if you would like to watch and listen to the lore of the universes. He has spent a lot of time and effort in making some brilliant videos. So now that's the Firelink Shrine, so we are going to be going there. So we're going to venture over there shortly. What this lovely scenery, some Alps, and we have got a big castle that we're buried underneath, so that's all very lovely as well. So that's our first bonfire. So this bonfire is, can't really do anything really at this. It just serves as a taste of actually using a bonfire. Resting, you can just leave, but you can rest to heal yourself and get your SS fast back if you've used them. So this enemy I'm just going to backstab. These enemies are now 2-shot. I whiffed there a bit, but then went for backstab. So the enemies will leave items down on the floor as white glowy objects randomly. So if they do leave them, they're normally hard souls that you can then pop, or sometimes they are other items which come in handy. So periodically just check the ground because you may miss them as you're going through a gank or a hard level. So these two can be a bit of a nuisance. With the arrow firing what's it over here, but they're not too bad. So we've got some fire bombs here, so we're going to go ahead and equip them as well. So we've got the 5 black fire bombs that we chose as our burial gift, and we've got some normal fire bombs as well. Having the fire bombs, I will show you an easier way to handle the first boss, which will come up shortly. If you're new to the game, I will try and help you out with some easier ways to handle things, just to give you a hand really. We need to go and get an item which I whiffed hard and missed the jump, but we'll go ahead and kill these people first, and then we'll then move on to the next phase of the walkthrough, which is the first boss. So we will then go into that, but I do make the jump this time. I'm not going to fail twice. So Titanite shards, so they are the items that you can use to upgrade your weapons. So it's a very, very important item to get at this stage of the game, so it's good to show you there. So this is the first boss battle area, so big old area. So the boss battle areas are in these games are very, very distinct. You do know when you're going into a boss battle. They are normally quite vast expanses with a big animal or person in them, like here. So this guy doesn't look in the best of health. He's got that black gunk coming out of him on the back, and obviously that sword impelled through his chest. And it looks like he's done a bit of a superhero land as well, as by the look of the floor, and he's also got his pole dancing stick just there as well. So big old area, big tree, yeah, very, very, very nice. So this is it's one of the best fights, boss fights to start off with to a game that I've played. It teaches you the mechanics of the game very well. It teaches you patience. Once you do get it, it is a lot easier, but it can be quite punishing to new players. So to start off the encounter, you have to remove the sword. So we're just going to have a look around just to have a look at the design of the character. He is a fantastic boss. So go ahead and remove the sword. So when removing the sword, if you straight away attack 4 to 5 times, you can get some damage in before the boss even gets up. So we've taken off a chunk of health. Make sure to do that. It just makes it a little bit easier. So this guy is going to ruin your day if you're not careful. As you can tell, he did just smack me from nowhere. He is got enough bulk to make Goku look like a Powerpuff Girl, so you need to just make sure that you just roll round. Strafing and rolling can deal with Gundyr quite well, but like I said, he does have some windows to get you on the fly. So he's got into phase 2, which is this black tar monster. So yeah, it can be quite intimidating for a first time player, but like I said, with big monsters, try to get behind them, and strafing round and rolling round to get you behind them, and it can deal with it quite well. A lot of these bosses do have mechanics to try and stop you from being there though, like you can see, but the black fire bombs, throw them twice and he's dead. So when he's in that state, he is very susceptible to fire, so that's why we have the black fire bombs. You can throw them before to try and get more of an easy win, but just staying around him and strafing is very, very simple. These big bosses, if you stay up close to them, try and get behind them, strafe and roll, you should be on the course for a good win. So we've now gone into an embered state, so we've now got a lot of fire around us. So when you beat a boss, you go into an embered state, or you can also pop what's called an ember. So if you're familiar with the original game, there was humanity sprites which you used to make yourself able to perform co-op. That's what you use in this game. They are humanity sprites, but they've got fire around them, and they're called embers. So that's just an updated version of that as well. So we've got a couple of people chilling out just over here. They can be a bit of an annoying because this guy's got a spear. I did try and parry him, but whiffed hard, failed, but we're just going to go ahead and kill him now. So yeah, two hands. So when you two-hand a weapon, it does increase your damage. So the damage output is increased. I don't know if it's multiplied, but it is definitely increased. So we're just going to two-hand the weapon for a bit. So these people will be sat down for a bit. So I got caught there a little bit, but we'll just handle these people. That chap has definitely not got aim like Hawkeye. but he can hit me from point blank. So that's the area that we'll be going into shortly, but we'll just handle some enemies. Now there is a guy just up there that I'll feature about in a bit. He is going to ruin your day. He is the second unofficial boss. He is horrendous. Now there was the embers, so we've got some embers there that we can go and pick up. There's also an item around here, homeward bone, so you can then pop that to go back to the last bonfire or the Firelink shrine, which we are just going about to go to. Another ember. So this is a dog, so if you're familiar with my channel and the Bloodborne series I've been going through, dogs are annoying in these games. Very fast, very agile, so yeah, need to handle those with great care. Dodging and rolling is the best way to deal with them, and try and kite them around to get some hits in. So this chap is the Swordmaster, and his name is definitely right for him because he is a master of that weapon. The weapon that he's holding is the Katana. So again, if you are familiar with the Dark Souls games, the Katana was the first katana that you could get from the Store Master in the Undead Burg in the first game. You can get it here if you defeat the Swordmaster, which I fail at a few times, as you'll be able to see. He is a very difficult opponent. If you do die to him numerous times, don't feel bad. He is very difficult. I am going to show you a way to cheese the opponent now. So if you are finding him very difficult, you can get an easy win, but he can be beaten. Now when he goes into the stance where he brings the sword behind him, he's going to try and parry you, which he did then, and it gives an audio cue. It puts you into a visceral attack like the Titanite Lizard was in when we got him. See, he killed me there. So yeah, he's a very difficult opponent, but like I say, don't worry if you do die. You will get there, as I do, but as I do with cheesing him, but we can beat him normally. So we've come back to the last bonfire we rest at, which is Gundyr's. Go through the doors. We're just going to kill the opponents just to get some more souls, and then go and recover our souls again. So got these opponents here. Did whiff a bit there because my targeting wouldn't lock on to that one that I wanted to, but we got there eventually. So we're just going to go and kill these two that are sitting down. You can normally kill them before they get up, and again same thing happens again, so haven't learned, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't do too much damage, so it's not going to kill you. So I've just left it so he then fires the arrow, so it gives me plenty of time to get back up to him. Kill these two. See, got Faint Soul there, which gives you 50 souls, which is pretty measly, but when you're this part in the game, anything helps. So we'll kill these two. When you're fighting Swordmaster, it's always best to kill these two, because if you go up the stairs, it does proc them to attack, and you don't want them to attacking you while you've got Swordmaster attacking you as well. So we're going to try and beat Swordmaster again. So he is a pretty hardcore memer. He likes to do his parry attack. So we're just going to get some hits on him here. When you get some hits on him, try and roll away as soon as possible, because he will try and end you very quickly with that weapon. So the bar that keeps building up when he hits you is the bleed bar. So bleed is one of the status afflictions for the game. So bleed Scales with Luck, which is your item find stat in the game as well. Bleed is very, very good. If you get multiple hits on an enemy that with a weapon that can cause bleed, it can take off a considerable chunk of health. Me and my friends are doing a playthrough where we are not raising vigour, so we're starting off with our starting health and staying like that for the whole game, but we're using bleed weapons, so we're going to try and bleed all of the bosses before they can kill us. So we nearly killed him there normally, but he then ended us. So we are now going to go back and kill him, but we're going to cheese him to show you how to kill him quite easily. It does use the environment, so using the environment in these games can help and hinder you as well. You will find that you die to the environment quite a lot, falling off edges and the like. Like I say, this game is punishing. It's not built to hold your hand, but anything that you can use to help yourself, do use it. So with the cheese for the Swordmaster, if you're using a dex build, it is very, very good to get that weapon, because that weapon at this level is fantastic. It will really help you with all of the enemies. So yeah, try and get that weapon from him. Try and give yourself a bit of a challenge to try and kill him normally, but if not, go for the cheese method. You can always come back to this video and watch just here to see how I do it. It does feel a bit cheap, but it does get the job done, so we're not going to feel too bad about it. So just kite him over to here. We've got the edge just there, so he's done his attack, he's got us, so yeah, feeling a bit bad. So got us again, so just, yeah, died again. Brilliant. So it'll be this one that we go to kill him. I did forget that I died another time, but like I say, you do die a lot in these games, so it doesn't really matter. So when you do die, you do lose your ember state, so that's why you need to pop the embers if you want to do co-op. So with the ember state, when you defeat an enemy, defeat a boss, it will then put the ember back on for you. So I'm just going through the menus just for no reason. Don't know what I was doing there. So we're just going to kill these enemies again, then go and kill them, and then we're then going to go and explore the Firelink Shrine. I will just show you a few bits in the Firelink Shrine just in case you're not aware and not played the game before. A lot of you, if you've played the game, will, this will be all normal for you. So yeah, it is just normal gameplay. So they did miss me on that time. So I did realise that I missed an item there. Fading Soul, so another 50 souls that we'll spend in episode 2. So again, like I say, need to attack these two, because if you go up the stairs enough with Swordmaster, they will attack you as well, and you don't really want to gank at this time. So go and pick up the souls. He takes his time because he's hardcore memer. And he's gone down, so we're going to attack him and just spam, and then he'll drop off. So that's how to kill him. So it'll register as death now, so it gives 2,000 souls, so not too bad, but it will not give you the Uchi Katana. So what you've got to do is you have to reload the area, and it'll then show up after. So I'll show you that in a bit. So we're then going to go into the Firelink Shrine. So just around here, it'll come up Firelink Shrine. So this is the hub area of the game. So this lovely lady is from the opening introductory intro. So
Welcome to the
she is a lovely
bonfire,
woman.
Kindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
So we can level up here. So we use the souls that we've accumulated from Gundyr and the people that we've killed previously. So we've got different stats here. So we're going to put some into strength and some into vigor. Vigor being the health, and strength being our main attack stat for the knight. So just going to put up those two. Going to leave some souls at this point. It's always good to leave a little bit of souls to be able to spend. This is the Handmaiden. So if you are familiar with Dark Souls 2, the Handmaidens were in Dark Souls 2 in the start of Dark Souls 2, so this is a bit of a nod to Dark Souls 2 in this, but like I say, Dark Souls 3 is more a follow-on from Dark Souls 1. So the lore of the series, Dark Souls 1 then follows into Dark Souls 3, so yeah, Dark Souls 2 is more of its own game in the franchise, made up by a splinter group of From Software. Some people from Software decided to try and make Dark Souls a little bit different, but they then made Dark Souls 3. So we've got the embers, so it looks like the humanity sprite with some fire around it. Very, very useful if you want to do PvP with your friends. We've got the Homeward Bone, so like we said before, white sign soapstone, so 500 souls, that is a must if you want to play with your friends. And we've got the Dried Finger. So Dried Finger is a very, very interesting item. When you use it, you can then summon one more person than you would normally be able to. So if you can summon 2 people, you can then summon 3, so you can have 4 people in an area, so you can have you and 3 other mates. But it also has the added downside that if you can have 1 invader, you can then have 2 invaders if you use that. So it's something to keep an eye on if you just want to have a few mates in your game. So if you're familiar with Dark Souls 1, this is Andre, brilliant Andre, the blacksmith, still smacking away at that hammer, no wonder he's hench. So he is a lovely man. He will sort out all of your weapons for you, he will repair them, he will infuse them, yeah, he'll do a lot for you here, so you're going to be visiting him a lot, so you'll see buffed Santa a lot. So we've got the weapons, so infuse, so you can infuse them with the fire gems, etc. But like I say, you do find them a lot in the game, so we didn't pick that. Repair, but when you visit a bonfire it does repair it anyway. So you can swap your Estus there, so a lot your Estus. So we've swapped the FP Estus, the Ashen Estus flask, for the normal Estus flask, so we've got 4, not 3 now. So with a knight we don't use FP, so it's always best to have all Estus flasks. This chap, he's just going to sit there and talk to you, he's a bit moody.
Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. Not fit to lick their boots.
So yeah, he is a bit of a depressed chap. In the intro scene, you had the Lords of Cinder, you had the Farron's Abyss Watchers. He is part of that group. He defected though, so yeah, he's got their armour on. The Abyss Watchers are one of my favourite fights in the games. They are fantastic to play against, very exhilarating. We're just going to remove the armour. We're going to do a bit of a skip now. So we've got a tree here. So this tree, if you examine it, it will give you an item randomly that can help you with invasions. So normally with invasions, the enemies will not attack the invader, but with the item they will do. So we're going to just run along this tree, jump up to this roof. Got some homeward bones on here. So that tree, it does take a little bit of practice to be able to jump up onto this roof. If you don't do it on your first attempt, just keep on trying. You will be able to do it. It's a bit of a skip. From Software, I believe, know about it. They will do now, after all these years, and they just don't really care. So we've got some items up here. So we've got Pickle Pea and Pumperum. They are from Dark Souls 2, I believe. So you can leave items with them. So we're just going to leave some items with them here just to show you. So we've got our fire bombs that we've got an excess of. So we just leave, and we'll leave one. So it just leaves it on the floor. Be prepared to just press circle once or twice. Don't mash it, because you will dash back and you may fall off. I've done it on a few a time now, and yeah, it's very, very awkward. And yeah, it just, because of the skip, and it can take you a little while to get the skip back for the tree, to get up here. If it's taking you 10 attempts to get up there originally, it may take you another 10 attempts. It just takes a lot of time. So we've got an item here. So the items, when they glow, if they glow, the bigger they glow, the more important they are. So there's two stages. So the smaller glows are the normal items. The really big glows are more effective items. So we've got the Estus Shard. So we've got an illusionary wall. So we've just hit that. We'll find a few in the game that are scattered about. I'll show you where they all are, just in case you haven't seen them. Got a chest here, so we'll just open that up and see what's in there. So as you can see, very, very big glow, and we've got coveted silver serpent ring. So our first ring in the game. So we're just going to go ahead and equip that. So fallen foes yield more souls. So very, very good. We'll be using that in the game. So we'll just equip all of this armour. And we'll just put our weapon and shield back on as well in a minute. So just jump down here. There you go, weapon and shield. So you don't really need your weapon and shield on in the Firelink Shrine. There's nothing going to attack you unless you provoke it. So the NPCs, like the depressed chap, will attack you if you attack them. We're going to put the sword that we removed out of Gundyr into the fire, and we'll make a bonfire. And this is your main bonfire for the game. So that is episode 1 finished. So I hope you've enjoyed. If you have found this helpful, please like, share and subscribe. It's very, very nice to see comments, likes on the videos. It's a bit of a hobby of mine, but yeah, if you liked it, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you all again shortly.